Welcome to my first 24-hour readathon attempt, I guess. I'm trying to read 24 hours in 48 hours. Now, if I was younger, single, had less life responsibilities, I'd be really tempted to do 24 hours in a row. Even that, I don't know, but I can't. I can't do that. Even today, I have a few things up. So I have a timer. It's currently paused right now. I am 5 minutes shy of 3 hours in, I think, here. I have 21 hours and 5 minutes and 36 seconds left in my countdown so far. I have eye doctor appointments I have to take my kids to this morning, and then I have a little bit of stuff this afternoon that I won't be able to read. I will take a book to the eye doctor though. So I started just before 7 o'clock this morning. I'm gonna have to end later than 7 this evening, and then tomorrow I have no plans, so hopefully I can get a bunch in a row. This is gonna be interesting. I'm glad this is lining up with middle grade March because I have, and March Mystery Madness, I have a huge TBR. I have books on my Kindle. Or Kindle app. I don't actually have a Kindle. I use an Amazon Fire tablet, but whatever. I have audiobooks. I'm listening to In Myrtle Peril right now. I started reading this physically, read the first couple chapters, and I had previously listened to the first 3, and I really like the narrator. I think she does a good job. I like this book. It's like a Victorian middle grade mystery series, and Myrtle is trying to be her family's trying to raise her as a young woman of quality, but she's obsessed with murder and stuff and doesn't get squeamish and always is looking for murder everywhere. Thankfully for her, it comes wherever she is anyway. So yeah, thoroughly enjoying listening to this. I'm about 100 pages in. I'm a little farther than where my bookmark is right now. So there's that. This morning I finished Nightlight by Terry Blackstock. This is one that I was reading with my patron of the month. It's the second book in a series where an EMP has taken out all the computers and things that run on electricity and stuff. So finished that already, which is impressive. I read the first chapter of My Cousin Rachel. This is going to be obviously a denser read, so I'm going to spread this out probably over the entire month. I also coincided this with my Patreon page count reading challenge. Every month we have either a weekend or a week where we just set a page count reading goal and try to hit it. So I've set mine at 1,200 pages, not having a clue how that's going to go. The page count reading challenge goes from Friday to Sunday. I'm not sure if I'm going to be interested in reading when Sunday comes around. So I've started a bunch of books, already finished one, have a bunch more I want to read. I think it will be an interesting reading time for me, but I guess we will see how this goes. I'm also, because I'm listening to audiobooks, I can move around and I don't just have to sit for 24 hours in the next 2 days, but it's not a bad thing to be pushed to read a bunch. So we'll see how this all goes. Time for another update because it is 3:35 and I'm about to read some more. I had to take a break for the things that I said. I have 19 hours and 10 minutes left in my timer, which at this point feels a little stressful. The cat's purposely filming here because if I film where I normally do, he would get at my camera and the microphone, and now he's trying to get in here. So I've been listening to In Myrtle Peril, and I don't know how far I am actually. So let's check in here. I am 38%. I'm on chapter 11. So I got a little bit in while I was doing some cleaning and housekeeping things. So where's chapter 11 here? I'm really enjoying this. Myrtle is a fun character, and I enjoy the time period and lots of different things. In this one, Myrtle's dad actually ends up having like tonsillitis. Okay, cat, go away. So we're learning a lot about the, don't try to jump onto my bookshelves. We're learning a lot about the medicine during the Victorian time period. Very interesting. So there's that, and yeah, like that far through. And then when I had my kids at the eye doctor, I finished reading the Shady Hollow book. I don't know if it's like book 1 or if it's like if it's a prequel or if it's book 3.5, but it is a short story. It's set at Christmas time. Can't find it here now. And I don't remember what it's called. Evergreen Chase. So it's very short. It was like 58 pages according to this. And it was disappointing. I've only read Shady Hollow. I haven't read the other 2 books in the series. And then now this like novella. Okay, apparently the cat wants to be all kinds of annoying right now. The mystery was incredibly obvious in the book. And the writing, it was just, it didn't do well as a short story. So I would not recommend that. I haven't rated it on Goodreads yet. It will either be, stop it! It'll either be between 2 or 3 stars. I'm like waffling. Yeah, so not that great. But then I started, I think this is one I have from NetGalley. It is called A Most Agreeable Murder. And we're kind of using Pride and Prejudice very loosely here. I think we're like set in that time period. Well, we are, oh my goodness, there's so many funny things. I'm trying to find my highlights. How do I find my highlights here? I have been highlighting a bunch of things that are like making me like laugh out loud or like chuckle or whatever. Okay, very first sentence of the book starts, in the English countryside there was a small town called Swampshire, comprised of several lovely mansions and one disgusting swamp. This was the home, one of the mansions, not the swamp, of Beatrice Steele. So I like that kind of humor to start. And then chapter 2 started with, it is a fact known throughout Swampshire that a rich gentleman is prey hunted by every young woman. So obviously that's a ripoff of Pride and Prejudice there. Anyway, so our main character is Beatrice. She's the oldest sister. I think there's only 3 here. And a rich guy has just come into the neighborhood. But the thing with Beatrice is she's obsessed with murders. So I probably shouldn't be reading this book the same time that I'm reading In Myrtle Peril, because they're feeling very similar, because Beatrice has to hide her interest in murder. There was probably a section here. She had never considered that a genteel person might solve crimes. She herself found no satisfaction in the approved hobbies for young women outlined in the Lady's Guide to Swampshire. She was terrible at needlework, had no musical ability, and was banned from drawing because her artwork was so bad that it frightened people. And then there was another one about her curiosity with solving murders and stuff. I must not have highlighted that one. It was like her interest in murder, solving them, not committing them, and how that wasn't respectful for women. So she's reminding me a lot of Myrtle, which is a good thing because I enjoy Myrtle, but I probably shouldn't be reading them at the same time, but I am. And then I started one more book. I started Soldier Boy. So this is my patron pick of the month. And I am not very far. I'm on page 14. Nothing really has happened yet. This is based on a true story of a boy that was in Joseph. Well, he was kidnapped and then had to fight in Coney's army, the Lord's Resistance Army. So, yeah. I've got some funny stuff. I've got like some more serious stuff. And now I have to sit down and do some major reading. I'm going to flip between books as I am interested. I have some laundry to do, so I'll listen a little bit then and just see how much reading I can get done, how many hours I can get in here. Welcome to day 2 of my 24-hour readathon attempt. I started out this morning with like pretty much exactly 13 hours left. I did a little bit of reading. So far I'm at 12 hours and 25 minutes left on my timer, just currently paused while I do a little update. I'm not going to talk in depth about the books that I'm reading / finishing because I'm going to be doing separate clips for my March wrap up, all about that. But yesterday in total I finished Nightlight. I finished the Shady Hollow short story Evergreen Chase, and I finished a NetGalley arc. I had a Most Agreeable Murder and started a bunch of books. So today I'm going to hopefully work on / maybe finish some of the books that I started, and to take place of my other book that I finished, I'm going to start The Grave Thief. So I'm still listening to In Myrtle Peril, and I'm going to finish that today. I'm going to be doing some puzzling. I definitely want to get that finished. Then this is a middle grade fantasy story that I don't know anything about. I'm going to start this, hopefully finish this as well. And then I'm reading Soldier Boy, which I'm not very far in, but it's very heavy. I might not finish it this weekend. I need to like space out those chapters because it's heavy. And then what else am I reading? My Cousin Rachel. I read a second chapter of that this morning. I think that will just be kind of like, I'll slowly read it throughout the month and we will see what I'll do. I'm a little sore from yesterday, pretty much in the evening. I didn't move from the couch. I just pretty much read like all of A Most Agreeable Murder like in one sitting there. So this morning I'm a little sore. I'm going to go for a couple of walks throughout the day with Jared, so I'm not going to be listening to anything, so that will make my time take a little longer. And then I'm going to do some puzzles though, so I'm not just sitting on the couch reading, which is fun, but gets a little sore. And then we'll see what I all get up to here, I guess. So I just got back from my walk, and I think like a few minutes ago, there's a reading sprint going on for like this graphic novel readathon that's going on right now. I think it's Keisha who is hosting the reading sprints, so I'm gonna join in on that. I think I'm gonna try to start or read Northanger Abbey. This is the Marvel graphic novel. During that, I'm actually kind of not really feeling in the mood for fantasy right now. I'm not sure what I'm in the mood for. So I'm just gonna play the next little bit by ear, but I think I'm gonna start this at least. And then I think in order to read for 24 hours, you gotta read stuff you're interested in. So I'm just gonna see what I'm interested in next. back from walk number 2, attempting to try to keep myself not from getting too sore today. I'm at 5,800 steps, so I'm doing pretty good considering how much reading I'm doing. I did join Keisha's reading sprints. They're still going. I might join in more yet, but I read Northanger Abbey, which this cover is cool. The inside illustrations are not. They're, why don't they match up? Well, let's see. Like some of the expressions in here, I do not like this art style. The storyline was good, but oh, some of these pictures, they're just not for me. But I finished that, and then I was working on my puzzle, and I finished in Myrtle Peril. So enjoyed this middle grade Victorian mystery, and I just read a bit more of Soldier Boy. I'm on chapter 10, 77 pages in here. This one's heavy, spacing this out. So now I'm done with that for a bit. Oh, and then when I was finished in Myrtle Peril, I worked on my puzzle a little more, and I started What About Will on audio. And for some reason, I always thought this was like historical fiction. I thought it was about a boy and his brother just came back from Vietnam, but it actually has to do with like a concussion with a football injury, a brain injury. Yeah, and life, family stuff. I don't really know a whole lot. It's free verse, so I'm like 60 some pages in, but there's not a whole lot of words per page. So that is my current audiobook. I hope to read more Soldier Boy yet, but I need to find a different physical book. I'm just, I don't know, in a weird reading mood. I can't quite find the book that I'm interested in right now. So I might go ebook. I do have Jamie Jo Wright's book that's being released in April. I think it's next month. Or is it? Yeah, I think it's April. I have that one. I could read that. That might be a quick read. Or I have a few other books on my shelf, or maybe another NetGalley book. I don't know. I might just start a few and see what gets me really interested in like turning pages really quickly. I think, yeah, Keisha is still doing reading sprints last I saw, and Janelle from Too Fond of Books is now doing reading sprints for March Mystery Madness. Maybe I should pick up a mystery. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna try a few books, try a few sprints, and just try to get some reading done. I don't have my phone with me here now, and I don't remember how many hours I had left, so I will film a clip of that yet to show you. Like 5 hours left or so. So I hopped on. Janelle was doing reading sprints. So I started A.G. Morton Mystery Queen, and I'm 66 pages in the middle of a chapter. And then on one of the sprints, then I also started, what is it called? Jamie Jo Wright's new book, The Vanishing at Castle Moreau, possibly, is the title. Yeah, so I'm learning. Just read whatever I'm interested in, start all the books. This is gonna be hard because I'm doing a page count reading challenge over on Patreon, and I'm not gonna know how to count all these pages, or I'm gonna have pages from a bunch of different books to count. Some of them are ebooks and I'm not gonna be done. It's gonna be confusing. I'll figure it out. And then my thought originally, when I was filming my TBR video, was to do some of the activities that I pulled for this month. One was to eat, okay, wow, brain. Too many thoughts going in and not enough coming out today. To make a food or snack or meal or drink based on a book I'm reading, and then also to do some drawing while listening to a poetry book. And I don't think I'm going to do either of those probably today. I feel like this is enough. My head feels full, so I'm going to probably do those at some other point throughout the week. Aggie Morton, it's good so far. There's a scene where Aggie and Hector, her friend, like her Hercule, they're going to camp, and then this other boy is there. So Hector asks him, "The food is good?" Arthur hesitated. "Well, there's lots of it." "Oh dear," said Hector. That made me laugh out loud. So yeah, like I said, probably around 5 hours left. My timer's upstairs again, so I don't remember exactly. I would like to finish another book, so I don't have so many started. So I should not start more. But we'll see where this goes. Lighting is terrible in here in the evenings, but I'm also very tired. It is, what time is it? 10:46, and just like a minute ago my timer went off. Let's see if I can even, oh, it's just back to 24 hours. No, I didn't cheat. I'm not starting over again. That is 24 hours of reading. Yikes, what an interesting thing to do. It's like both easier and harder than I expected. I ended up joining in on Keisha's reading sprints, and while that was going on, she was talking about a graphic novel swim team, so I gave that a try. I thought it was gonna be more like middle grade historical fiction kind of. It wasn't really. There was like 2 pages that talked about swimming and Black history. So I read that one, and then I also finished What About Will? This is a middle grade novel in verse, and yeah, I'm gonna do full wrap-ups of all my books in my March wrap-up because right now they're all jumbled together. And then I read more in the Aggie Morton book, and I think that's all I finished. I was trying to keep up with inputting stuff into Goodreads as I went because it was all very confusing. So today I finished What About Will, Swim Team, In Myrtle Peril, Northanger Abbey. Yesterday I did Most Agreeable Murder, Nightlight, and Evergreen Chase. So I read 7 books, 2 of which were graphic novels. One was a novella, so it was very short. In the last 24 reading hours. Yikes. I think that's all for today. I think I'm gonna go get ready for bed. But thanks to all who watched this. I have a feeling it's probably gonna be a long video because it's a long 24 hours. I challenge anyone that's interested in doing this for themselves. Set a timer and see how much reading you can get done. See how that works for your brain. Because mine feels very full right now. It feels like I've just consumed a lot of stuff, and yeah. Okay, I'm just gonna incoherently end this video. Thanks for being here.